It is 7 o'clock in the evening, the best hour of a summer day. The sun is finally low. The air is finally cool. You carried a chair out to your own backyard, you poured something cold to drink, and within 4 minutes you are back inside, slapping your arm, scratching your ankle. One landed on your neck before you even sat down. You spent $80 last month on the spray company. You have 3 citronella candles burning on the table that are doing absolutely nothing, and you are back inside your own house on a July evening because you cannot sit in your own yard. I want you to sit with something. There is a 5-gallon bucket sitting behind my woodshed right now. It has been there since May. It cost me $4 to set up and about 4 minutes to fill. Every female mosquito within 100 yards of my property is flying toward that bucket tonight to lay her eggs. Every single egg she lays in that bucket will be dead within 24 hours. Not one of them will ever grow wings. Not one of them will ever bite my grandchildren running through this yard at dusk. And nothing in that bucket will harm a single honeybee. Nothing in it will harm a butterfly. Nothing in it will harm my dog, the birds at the feeder, or the children barefoot in the grass. It kills one thing. My name is Kenji Nakamura. I am 64 years old. I was born in the mountains of Nagano Prefecture in Japan, and I moved to the United States when I was 25 years old. I have lived here for nearly 40 years. I raised my children here. My grandchildren were born here. This is my home. But what my grandfather taught me on that mountain in Nagano about mosquitoes, about pests, about keeping a family comfortable on land without spending money on things that do not work, I brought every bit of that with me when I came. And for 39 years, I have watched my American neighbors pay monthly contracts for a problem my grandmother solved with a $3 bucket and a spoonful of powder. My neighbor David has lived next door to me for 24 years. He pays $85 a month to the spray truck from May through September. His yard still has mosquitoes every July. Mine does not. He has asked me about it 3 times. This is the answer I keep giving him, and the answer I am going to give you now. Stay with me. By the end of this, you will know exactly what to do this weekend. You will know why it works. You will know why no spray truck is going to knock on your door to tell you about it. And your honeybees and your pets and your grandchildren will all be fine. Let me start with what my grandfather taught me first, because if you do not understand this one thing, none of the rest will work. Mosquitoes do not come from the air. They do not blow in from your neighbor's yard or drift in from the woods at the edge of your property. Every mosquito that bit you last summer in your own backyard was born in your own backyard, in water, in standing water, and not very much of it. A bottle cap of rainwater caught in the fold of an old tarp is enough. The plastic saucer under your potted tomato plant is enough. A clogged gutter holding half a cup of water for 4 days is enough. A female mosquito will lay between 100 and 300 eggs at a time, and she can do it in less water than fits in a coffee mug. That is the whole game. My grandfather understood this the way a farmer understands weather, not as a fact he read somewhere, as a thing he watched every summer for 60 years on that mountain in Nagano. He used to say, "Kenji, the mosquito is not your enemy. The standing water is your enemy. Find the water and you have already won." The American pest control industry does not want you to think about water. They want you to think about mosquitoes flying through the air, because flying mosquitoes are something they can sell you a spray for. Standing water in your own yard is something you can fix yourself for nothing. So the spray truck shows up every month and fogs your yard and kills everything the spray touches, including things you did not want killed, and the mosquitoes are back in 2 weeks because nobody touched the water. and the truck comes back next month. My grandfather would have called that a very good business. He would not have called it pest control. Here is what we do instead. You need 3 things: a 5-gallon bucket, dark colored, brown or black or dark green, not white, a handful of grass clippings or dead leaves, and 1 container of something called mosquito bits. You will find it in the lawn and garden section of any hardware store, sometimes near the pond supplies. It costs about $17 for a container that will last you the entire summer. That is it. That is the whole system. Let me explain why each piece matters, because my grandfather always said, "A man who knows why will never forget how." The dark bucket first. A female mosquito, when she is searching for a place to lay her eggs, is not flying randomly. She is hunting. She is looking for water that looks like the dark shaded, still pools her species evolved in over millions of years. A bright white bucket sitting in full sun does not look like home to her. A dark bucket sitting in the shade behind your shed looks exactly like home to her. The color is doing work. Do not skip it. The grass clippings next. As those clippings break down in the water, they release the same compounds that decaying vegetation releases in a natural pond. The scent tells a female mosquito this is a safe place to leave her young. You are not making a pond, you are making a counterfeit pond. The most attractive piece of real estate on your property as far as a mosquito is concerned. She will choose it over your arm every time if you set it up correctly. Now the mosquito bits. This is the part my grandfather knew by a different name on a different mountain, but it is the same thing. What you are putting in that bucket is called BTI, Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis. It is a bacterium, not a chemical, not a poison in the way most people use that word. A living thing that exists naturally in soil all over the world. It was first identified growing in a desert pond in Israel in 1977. What makes it remarkable, what makes it almost difficult to believe the first time you hear it, is that it kills exactly 1 category of creature. When a mosquito larva hatches from its egg and begins feeding in the water, it ingests particles of BTI. The bacterium produces a protein that binds to specific receptors in the gut lining of the larva. Within 24 hours, that larva is dead. The mechanism is so specific to mosquito larva biology that it does not activate in any other creature on Earth, not in honeybees, not in butterflies, not in dragonflies, not in fish or frogs or songbirds, not in your dog if she drinks from the bucket, and not in you. I called my grandfather from a payphone here in America in 1988. This was before cell phones existed. I described BTY to him the best I could, the science of it, the specificity of it. He listened, and then he was quiet for a moment, and then he said, "Kenji, in Nagano, we have always known that the most powerful solution is the one that does only what you need and nothing else. The spray that kills everything is not a solution, it is a surrender." He was 80 years old. He had never left Nagano Prefecture, but he understood it immediately. Germany has been using BTY in its public mosquito control program since 1981. The state of Pennsylvania uses it. Maryland uses it. They drop it from airplanes over marshland. It is the most studied mosquito control product on the planet, and the safety record over 40 years is perfect. So why is your lawn care company not using it? A $17 container of mosquito bits will last 1 family the entire summer. A monthly mosquito spray contract costs between $60 and $100 a visit. You do the math on which one the spray company would rather sell you. Now here is how you set it up. Fill your dark bucket about halfway with water. Rainwater is best, but tap water is fine. Toss in 2 or 3 handfuls of grass clippings or dead leaves, just enough to make the water look slightly swampy. Then take 1 heaping tablespoon of mosquito bits and sprinkle it across the surface of the water. Do not stir, do not measure precisely. 1 heaping tablespoon floating on the surface, that is all. Place the bucket somewhere hidden, behind a shed, under a hedge, behind your woodpile, not next to where you eat dinner or where your children play. You want the mosquitoes drawn away from you, not toward you. Away from camp. Always away from camp. My grandfather said this about everything. Do not fight the enemy where you live. Draw him somewhere else and end him there. 1 bucket is not enough for most properties. You need at least 3. 1 on the north side of your house, 1 on the south, 1 on whichever side has the most shade and vegetation. Placed in the corners, hidden, away from where your family spends time. You are surrounding your home with traps the mosquitoes will choose every time over you. Every 2 to 4 weeks, the BTI breaks down and you add another tablespoon. That is the entire maintenance schedule. 2 to 4 weeks, 1 tablespoon. The same container you bought in May will take you through September. Now, I want to tell you about the part most people miss entirely, the walking. Once a week in summer, my grandmother did this every Saturday morning before the heat came up. You walk your entire property with an empty coffee can, every saucer under every potted plant. The wheelbarrow leaned against the fence, the dog bowl you stopped using, the folds in the tarp covering your firewood, the gutter on the north side that always holds water, the old tire if you have one. If you have one, please get rid of it, because a tire is the most efficient mosquito hatchery ever built by human hands. Each one holds water in a way that is almost impossible to fully drain, and it stays warm and dark and protected from predators. A single tire can produce thousands of mosquitoes in one summer. Dump everything, turn it over, walk the whole property. My grandmother called this the Saturday walk. She did it for 50 summers on that mountain. She never once had a mosquito problem she could not solve, and she never once spent $1 on an exterminator. 5 minutes a week, source reduction. It is free, and it is half the battle. For the places you cannot drain, like a low spot in the yard that holds water after rain, a decorative pond, a rain barrel, or a bird bath, they make the same BTI in a different form. They look like small brown donuts. The label calls them mosquito dunks. You toss 1 in. Each one covers about 100 square feet of standing water and lasts about 30 days. I keep a box of them in my garage, and I toss 1 in my rain barrel on the first day of every month from May through September. My bird bath has had 1 floating in it every summer for 15 years. The birds do not mind. The mosquitoes that try to lay eggs in it do not survive. Your gutters. I want to say this plainly because most homeowners never think about it. If your gutters have any debris in them, leaves, pine needles, the buildup that happens within a year of cleaning, they are holding water. Not much, just enough. A female mosquito will find a tablespoon of water in a clogged gutter the same way she finds your arm. Sprinkle a small amount of mosquito bits into your gutters every few weeks during mosquito season, and you have shut down what is probably the largest mosquito breeding site on your entire property. Now, you have done the walking, you have put out the buckets, you have treated the gutters, the eggs are taken care of, the larvae are taken care of, but there are adult mosquitoes out there right now, born last week before you started this, who are looking for blood. They do not know about your buckets yet. They are coming to find you on the porch this evening. This is where my grandmother's second method comes in, and it is also safe for honeybees and butterflies and everything else you want to keep. Essential oils, real ones, cedarwood, rosemary, clove, lemongrass, peppermint, eucalyptus. These are not perfumes. They are concentrated plant compounds that have repelled insects for thousands of years on every continent where people grew these plants and had no other option. My grandmother grew rosemary and lemongrass along the south wall of the farmhouse in Nagano. Not for cooking. For this. You can buy these already mixed in a spray concentrate at most hardware stores or garden centers. Get yourself a pump garden sprayer, the kind you fill by hand and carry on your shoulder. About $30 to $40, lasts many years. Fill it 3/4 full with water, add the concentrate according to the label, shake it well. The water will turn slightly cloudy. That is the oils dispersing. That is what you want. Now here is the technique my grandmother used, and it is the one most people get wrong. Do not spray the open air. The oils evaporate quickly in open air and you waste them. What you spray is the underside of every leaf in your bushes and hedges, the shaded spaces inside your shrubs, the underside of your porch, the back of your woodpile, the lattice around your deck, the areas beneath your outdoor furniture. During the day, mosquitoes do not fly, they rest. They sit in shade on the cool underside of leaves in the protected pockets of your shrubs, waiting for evening. If you spray those resting places in the afternoon, you hit the entire adult population before they ever come for you. My grandmother did this every 2 weeks in summer. She did it in about 40 minutes. And she sat on her porch every evening of every summer I can remember without slapping once. One instruction I want to be clear about because the bees mattered to me the way they mattered to her. Do not spray flowers that are open and blooming. These essential oils will not kill a honeybee, but they will discourage her from landing on a treated flower. You do not want to tell your pollinators to go somewhere else. Spray the shrubs, spray the shade, spray the wood and the lattice and the underside of the eaves. Leave the blooms alone. I want to tell you one more thing before I let you go. Something my grandfather said to me the last time I saw him in Nagano, about 3 years before he died. I was visiting from America and we were sitting outside in the evening and there were no mosquitoes, and I told him I had been teaching my American neighbors what he had taught me. He thought about this for a while. Then he said, "Kenji, in Japan, we say that a person who knows how to do something will never be at the mercy of the person who sells it. Your neighbors are paying every month because nobody ever taught them. Now you are teaching them. That is the right direction." He was 84 years old. He died 2 years later. He never paid an exterminator, not once in 84 years. Here's what I want you to do this weekend. First, walk your property with a coffee can. Dump every saucer, every bucket, every tarp pocket, every container that is holding water. Free. Takes 10 minutes. Do this first. Second, go to the hardware store and find mosquito bits in the lawn and garden section. About $17. While you are there, pick up 3 dark-colored 5-gallon buckets if you do not already have them, a few dollars each. Third, set up your 3 buckets. Hidden corners of your property, away from where you sit. Half full of water, handful of grass clippings, 1 heaping tablespoon of mosquito bits. That is it. Fourth, toss a mosquito dunk in any standing water you cannot drain. Rain barrel, bird bath, low spots in the yard. Fifth, if you want to handle the adults too, get a pump sprayer and a bottle of essential oil. Mosquito concentrate and spray the underside of every shrub and shaded space on your property on a dry afternoon. Total cost the first time, about $60. Every summer after that, about $20 for refills of mosquito bits. Less than 1 visit from the spray truck. By next Saturday evening, you will be sitting on your porch in the cool of the day. Your honeybees will be back in their hive for the night. Your dog will be lying in the grass. Your grandchildren will be running barefoot through the yard at dusk, and nothing will be biting anyone. Tell me in the comments where you live and what your mosquito situation looks like right now. And tell me if you already knew about BTI or if this is the first you have heard of it. I read every single one. My grandmother used to say, "The person who knows how to do something will never be at the mercy of the person who sells it." She learned that from her mother. I learned it from her. Now you have it too. Next time, I am going to show you what my grandfather used to do every spring to keep ants out of the kitchen entirely. No poison, no traps, no monthly contract. One ingredient from the hardware store that costs $3 and lasts a year. He never had an ant in his kitchen in 60 years of farming. I am going to show you exactly what he did. Until then, find the water. End it there. That is where the mosquito begins, and that is where you win.